So I'm going to make this an open letter. It's a letter to the office of the Ohio Attorney General, one Mr. Yost. Dear public servants and Mr. Yost, I guess some context to this is I was drugged and mugged in the city of Talmadge, and the city of Talmadge is trying to pursue collecting money for having administered to me a shot in the chest. I was drugged and mugged in the city of Talmadge. However, instead of any questions, a ticket for a jailable offense was pinned to my shirt when I came to in Summa Health Systems ER. With an effective police chief, prosecutor, or judge, how would this be possible? Then when in court, the court learns that my home with no mortgage, my personal property, my kids who were and are being criminally abused, my licensure, were all illegally removed by a corrupt Summit County. Not only do they ignore their legal obligations to help me, but required about $1,500 in court fees. When the system profits, even when it fails, what would be the motivation for change? Judge Hoover thought employing me to help with construction on his commercial property was the correct answer, and requiring me paying the court about $1,500 as the unemployed, unlicensed, homeless, former housewife of kids being criminally abused who just had $3,500 stolen. My unwillingness to continue the illegal wiring in Kim Hoover's commercial property and patience with him doing nothing to legally help me, I continue to pursue other avenues. Letters for help were sent to Judge Hoover, the mayor of Talmadge, County Prosecutor Sherry Bevan Walsh, and the FBI. Apparently, doing nothing about Summit County dealing in slavery is acceptable. As the unemployed primary caregiver of my 4 kids, the marital home abandoned, no legal rights, my kids taken because of my great-grandfather's rifle hanging on the wall, not sworn in, no evidence presented or needed, illegally took my kids as extortion while requiring hair, fingernails, urine for me to pay to be graded as a parent. With no running water, electricity, heat, or food, the court, after recognizing me deserving spousal support, then strips me of representation. The county removed my licensure in the state a couple weeks after the first hearing. The judge manufactured evidence creating an income for me, threatened me with arrest and violence if I set foot on county property or try to secure my personal possessions. However, every time I've been criminally abused by our public servants, the next agency simply abuses me more. My kids and myself have been criminally abused by Summit County for 2,400 days. Why has your office only ignored my letters and requests for help? Having no rights to land, no rights to personal property, no rights to vote, no rights to travel, no rights to seek employment, no rights to bear arm, no rights to speak freely, no rights to my children, in what manner am I free? Your inactions in this matter only add to the self-evident truths that we, the people of Summit County and Ohio at large, suffer from domestic terrorists and a tyrannical government. In lieu of you doing your job, shall we, the people, organize the restitution of our freedoms by following the requirements of the United States Constitution? Or perhaps prosecutors could begin doing their job and holding the largest criminal organization in the area accountable, Summit County. Ask Mr. Yost if he values the harassment of large state employers like Dollar General or the United States of America's Constitution and the very definitions of freedom more. Why do prosecutors do nothing against the largest criminal child abuser, Summit County Domestic Courts, by their own numbers, when their crimes are a matter of court record? How do I convince my neighbors from killing public servants when you do nothing and they are terminally ill and exhausted from the decades of bearing witness to these blatant criminal acts? Do France and the United States still celebrate the people's intolerance of debtors' courts? Then why do you permit county domestic courts to be debtors' courts? The entire American experiment is predicated on the sovereignty of the individual, with public servants being required to protect the individual's liberties and properties. Yet you choose to pretend in sovereignty of the king and immunity to the public servants that commit criminal acts. I'm tired of every day being denied the most basic of inalienable rights, while being cruelly and unusually tortured by being forced to watch my kids being criminally abused, all while requiring me to bear the burden of violence. Slowly losing hope for a peaceful resolution, your proud and faithful American, unemployed, homeless, and criminally abused formal parent, James Kenneth Jeffries, Jr.